pleases him because everyone, this is Shokora Zouheikyoku aka Chocomint, and welcome back to our Let's Play of Celestia. In the last episode, we have just finished our dance with Lord Solis, and now we will choose our next dance partner. So, let's start. That's interesting. Auto? Yes. Yep. So we have two options here. We have Zouheikyoku, which is the tall, dark, and mysterious person who is really looks really nice. And we have Valentester, our old friend. Because in this playthrough, I'm choosing to romance Lord Solis, so these two shouldn't be any interest. So I just choose our old friend because we're all familiar with each other. The first dance of the evening completed, I look around the dance floor as it begins filling with people. My eyes make a beeline toward Valentester, his telltale reddish-brown locks sticking out like a flame against the golden walls. As I approach him, I can see the weariness in his eyes, weariness that I outright ignore as I choose to smile at him instead. "Here comes trouble," I gasp in mock offense, but he only crosses his arms, forcing himself to relax from his normal paranoid state as he leans against the wall. "Don't ask me what I think you're about to ask me." What the guest of honor wants, the guest of honor gets. Valentester looks at me in exasperation as I take one of his hands, tugging at him in an attempt to make him follow. "Come now, with all of these other guests, are you sure you want to waste a dance with little old me?" I scoff in reply. Dancing with a friend isn't a waste. I can tell my answer pleases him because he starts fighting a smile right away. "Are you sure? Because tonight you've been rather popular." He draws off, a little grin playing at the corners of his lips. Dancing with one person does not make me popular, Val. Besides, you must be popular as well. He lifts an eyebrow suspiciously. "Because?" I grin fiendishly. "Why, because the guest of honor has taken an interest in you and wishes to dance." Valentester snorts, but he takes my hand anyway and allows me to lead him toward the dance floor. When I can dance no more, I part from my partner, stepping away to think on our conversation. The wind breezes against my skin, my eyes fluttering shut at the sensation. With so many choices, I wonder who is best to fill my sky. In the distance, shining brightly, I can see my true form glowing beautifully among the stars. Is this what it feels like to look up into the night sky? How strange, and yet beautiful. I wonder if the humans of my planet are happy gazing at my moon. I have to choose well, or else it could have a dire effect on this world. A human catches my eye from the crowd below. His eyes widen as he waves frantically at me, most likely in excitement. I can't help but smile at the sight. I lift my hand to wave back, and even from here, I can see the clean-up bright tea as he smiles. How nice it is to interact with those I have only seen from afar. Maybe I'll go into the town. It seems frivolous to waste my meager days in this form, when I should be looking for my star, but I say this word. I cannot remember from what, but it makes me curious about the humans I always see from my station. I sigh aloud. How dare you come dressed so casually on this occasion? You know well that it is a special moment for Timekeeper Iluna. Lord Solis. The idea of him raising his voice surprises me, but the voice is unmistakably his. Oh, please. It's a party and I was invited by a friend. If she doesn't have an issue with it, then I should dress however I want to. And Valenister. I gather my dress and rush back inside. I hurry into the room only to catch sight of Valenister and Solis squabbling in the middle of the dance floor. Everyone is watching them as I stand paralyzed in the doorway. You see this? This is the reason I don't like being around you Celestials. Solis looks at him aghast. Oh? Well, may I remind you that you are one. No amount of running will salute you from that fact. This callous disregard for what we do serves no one but yourself. Years I have planned in this event. Years in honor of her grace. And you cannot even bother to dress properly. Stop! Please, stop. My shout stops them immediately, freezing them into place. Timekeeper. He looks around himself, as if noticing the crowd for the first time. I did not mean to cause a spectacle. I was just, that is to say, you were sticking your nose where it doesn't belong, and you've got no one to blame but yourself. With those final words, Vel turns on his heel and begins to march away. Myself? You're the one who's to blame for coming to this event dressed like a vagabond. It's good that you're leaving because if not, I will escort you out myself. Vel long gone, Solis too turns away, walking out of the ballroom in the opposite direction, his face frowning deeply. I stand there in the center, but I can't for much longer. I need to speak with one of them. Oh, the middle one is Rita because we haven't met the Zouheikyoku. So, I'm sorry, I forgot his name. Whoopsie, even though he's like my favorite right now, but his name is like harder to remember. So, take after Solis. My eyes gravitate towards Solis without a second thought. I've been friends with Vel for a long time, and surely he can take care of himself. Or that you're just not interested in him that way. Still, he is my friend. I turn to see where Vel has gone, but he has already disappeared. That settles it. I set off after Solis. Clearly, he needs my help more than Vel does. Besides that, I'm curious. From what I'm seeing of Solis, he is usually so polite that I can't help but wonder what could make that sort of celestial flare up the way he did. I follow him out of the ball, wondering where he could possibly be going. Solis finally runs out of indignant energy somewhere in the gardens as I trail him. By the time I catch up, I find him pacing back and forth. I wonder, should I call out to him? I don't want to startle him, so maybe it's best if I grab his attention gently. Lord Solis? At the sound of my voice, Solis pauses for a moment before turning to face me. His smile is as bright as ever at first glance, but I can tell he feels somewhat remorseful by the bride. almost sheepish expression on his lips. I smile back since it seems like the best option as I approach him. Are you alright? Solis looks at me and visibly cringes. I am... I suppose it doesn't matter really. My actions were inappropriate, so I have to apologize. A bad sweat such as this should never have occurred in the first place. It especially shouldn't have happened on a night such as this. His words surprised me. You consider this night special? Why wouldn't I? As this is your first celestial gathering. You should expect nothing but the best. You are someone to celebrate for your merits and achievements. His words, said so passionately, flustered me. I'm not sure what else to say aside from, wow, thank you. Now, I do have a favor to ask of you. You're under no obligation to accept, but it would be my honor to be your escort for the rest of the evening. I would appreciate that greatly. It would be an honor. And what would you like to do after that? Oh, that third choice is quite suggestive. It would be an honor. It would be an honor. Solis smiles at me. No need to be so formal. We're equals, and we should treat each other as such. Besides, I should be the one saying it's an honor. You are the guest of honor, after all. Thank you. Somehow, he's made the atmosphere more relaxed. Is this the power of the sun? To make people relax, even melt a little bit in his presence. Calm down, Ilona. I know I shouldn't be having these thoughts right now, but being escorted wouldn't be so too bad. It'll be fine. Solis reaches out to me, almost placing a hand on my shoulder before pulling away. I wonder what he's thinking. Maybe I'll ask him as he walked along, and I'll tell him that I don't mind a small amount of touch. Very well then. Now that's settled. Shall we walk back? Yes, let's do that. He extends his arm to me, and I take it. Being with Solis feels like a step up from where I was before. As we link arms, I notice a few eyes on us from the other Celestials who were choosing to spend their ball in the gardens. Is this what it will be like if I choose him for my sky? I'm not sure how much I enjoy that aspect of it, but the solid arm beneath my hand provides an unexpected sense of comfort. We walk together in silence for about a minute before Solis clears his throat. I wonder what he's going to ask, and if I'm ready to answer. He looks down at me. Is there anything that you would like to do now? Eat. The thought comes to me right away, as I suddenly become conscious of my own growling stomach. Promise you won't make fun of me? I would never. Please, speak freely. In all honesty, I've observed people eating from my moon before, but suddenly I'm filled with uncertainty. Are Celestials supposed to eat? If I do, am I crossing some unseen line? Am I supposed to just bear with the discomfort until all eyes are off of me? I look to the Solis for the answer to a question that I'm not sure how to ask. I would like to eat some of the human delicacies at the party. As if the question is ordinary, Solis nods easily. My worrying feels silly for a moment as he clears his throat.
Well, we're very well then. Would you like them brought to your room, or would you like to dine in the dining hall?
I'd like to see more of the castle. Despite it being in my honor, I feel like I haven't gotten a chance to truly explore. Solis smiles at me invitingly.
I understand. I know just where to take you then.
I nod, which gets me another kind smile. Their expression is dazzling, and I can't help but wonder if I ever get used to it. It'll be nice to be used to his brightness in the long run, but right now, I just want to marvel at this brilliance that is so new to me. Shaking the thoughts from my head, I try to concentrate on my walking companion. May I ask you a few questions while we walk?
Of course. What would you like to know?
Despite this being my homework, I feel like I know so little about my people personally. I haven't had the opportunity to physically spend time with them, but I watch over them to the best of my ability. Now that I'm finally here, watching doesn't feel like enough. I already enjoy people watching, but I'm not sure how long that can last. Solis is different from me. His broad shoulders seem to command respect and reverence, so it's hard not to be curious about the way he deals with the planets under his domain.
Do they perhaps disrespect you?
I shake my head. Far from it. I just wanted to hear your insights on the matter.
For me, I find it crucial to demand respect through action and conduct. Even at parties such as this, it is important to keep your head raised high. You are the timekeeper now, and it's best you always keep that in mind.
He clears his throat for a moment.
My people never forget that it is my son that brings them warmth and cares for their daily needs. Your people too should be grateful.
It sounds a little distant, but I nod slowly, not wanting to contradict with so little experience. Thank him. Don't say anything. Yeah, thank him. I see. Thank you.
It's nothing, truly. Helping someone worthy of the title such as yourself is not only my duty, but also my honor.
An unpleasant thought comes from the back of my mind. What if I wasn't deemed worthy? Would he still treat me with such kindness? And most importantly, what are his standards of who is worthy and who is not? I swallow my feelings of discomfort. I should enjoy this moment. This aside, Solis is a pleasant company. As long as he doesn't keep bringing it up, I think he'll be fine. We'll be fine. All eyes are on us when we enter the greater ballroom. Being as I have no sun, the sky through the massive windows is eternally dark with the glittering of faraway star lords, each ruling their own domains. I look around, feeling both awestruck and anxious. Lord Solis must notice because he leans in and whispers to me quietly.
Jenna, remember?
Those would be empty words from anyone else, but I can tell Solis means them. He wants me to stand brow, and I can't say that's not a valid request. But does he only want me to stand brow because I am beside him? The thought gives me pause, but since I don't have an answer, I just concentrate on the issue at hand, namely my growing stomach. I'm about to approach the next waiter, I see when Solis raises his hand. Without any other effort, the waiter turns and comes toward us. Solis looks at me with a smile that I feel compelled to return. I've never been served like this before, and I can't tell if I like it or not.
How may I help you?
They give a deep bow, and I immediately feel discomfort. This formality is a bit much, isn't it? I'm the timekeeper, sure, but the only way I'm above them is in a literal sense.
Pick what you like, you would like, timekeeper.
Yes. I would like the 3 appetizers on the right, and actually, would you mind just giving the tray to me?
Yes, of course.
They hand me the tray and look at us expectantly.
That'll be all.
Thank you. We both say those words at the same time, which causes us to look at each other with surprise. Solis' voice isn't cold per se, but there's a distinct difference between how he spoke to the waiter and how he spoke with me. As the waiter leaves, I wonder how I can possibly put my finger on it. We move to a corner of the room to take our meal sitting down.
You must be hungry, timekeeper.
He says this without judgment, as I try to imitate the way that he eats. His motions are delicate as he brings the fork to his lips. It's not as though he's pressuring me with words, but I feel it all the same. It's not as... Oh. So I eat as delicately as I can, and not as Solis' comment. I'm ready to respond the moment I finish one of my appetizers. I am.
Well, eat as much as you like. The world won't end if you enjoy yourself.
I don't know what else to say, so I thank him. Thank you, Lord Solis. The food is delicious as I poke up something I could not recognize if I tried. For all my time spent observing, mealtimes are of the least interest to me. But now I wish I'll pay more attention, if only to know what I am eating. That was really, really good. I'll have to think the stuff later. Solis looks at me in surprise.
No need to thank anyone. That's what humans are for, timekeeper. To serve us.
Is it? I don't know. I mean, it's a give and take. It's a two-side give and take, isn't it? I don't know. I'm certain I don't agree, and as I open my mouth to express as much, it occurs to me for the first time that he hasn't been calling me by my name. Just timekeeper. I tilt my head at him. May I ask you something?
Yes, feel free to.
I'm the timekeeper, and my job is an important one. But didn't you say that as a human, I took this role to save my people?
I did, yes.
Then why emphasize my status so much? I've noticed that you call me timekeeper more than you say my name. There's a moment of silence before Solis finally lets out a warm chuckle. I flinch at the sound. There's his usual warmth, but something about it feels as though he is laughing at me rather than with me.
Listen to me, timekeeper Ilona. Personality is fundamental. From what I know of yours, I cannot help but be interested. But it seems you are unaware of something very important.
His voice turns serious.
As Celestial, we are here to serve the people.
Right.
But to do so, we need authority. When I say your status must come above all else, please consider it a compliment. It means you have earned the power you have, and there is no shame in that. Besides, are humans not on this planet to serve us, In exchange for the light and safety we revive.
Are you sure? Because human can make nice, and safety? Do we even have safety? Like, without the sun, I guess we don't have light, but we can still make fire. We can still make electricity and so on and so forth. So we still can make light artificially. We may be lacking in vitamin D because we don't have the nutrition that comes from the sun, I guess. So, but then humans can adapt. They can adapt to become better, to evolve, to survive in that world, and so on and so forth. So sun is important, but not that important that you say you are so tall in authority and stuff. This reasoning is not right, Because if you use that reasoning, then the moon is also kind of based on the sun too. So I guess the sun is the tallest and the strongest, I guess. I disagree so strongly that I don't know how to feel. To choose someone from the sky, I've always imagined that it would be because our planetary system would work much well. We would understand each other and descend on my world together every century, spending time with all people. But the distance that Solis is suggesting feels wrong.
What?
I find your thought process completely wrong. Humans are not meant to serve us. Rather, we serve them. The power we have is to protect them. So how could you say such a thing? And also, Illuna she originally is a human. And she takes on his power to protect the world. So, in a sense, it is what she says is true. I'm not sure about the history of the Solis yet. Solis blutters for a moment, and I stand quickly. It's true that humans of this planet take care of our very room in the 10 days we have in our physical forms. But to think they're beneath me is so outside of my mindset that I don't know what else to say. I suddenly feel very tired. I think I'll be taking my leave now. My bow. I'm sorry, what? My bow is out of obligation at best, and I leave quickly before I hear what Solis has to say in reply.
I told you he was a prick.
That's rude, girl.
Oh, new clothes.
Nice. Oh, she's looking cute.
It also really suits her too. But is it wrong?
Do you think I overreact?
Don't reply.
Well, honestly, I can't help the smile that tugs at my lips. I suppose you might have a point. A tiny one. Belle laughs, nudging my shoulder with his.
Yeah, just a tiny one.
It's easy to relax around Belle, settle into the playful dynamic I'm so used to. Unlike some other people I could name, I nudge him back, laughing in turn. Don't push your luck.
Me? Pushing my luck? I would never.
I shake my head before I can feel myself frowning again. It's just, after all, we were once human and I am proud of that. And having the honor of serving my people, and in being me.
That's true. Be proud of that, girl. Be proud of that. Since they were once human. then they shouldn't feel so self-important about themselves because the origins are the same as the human that they serve. Yeah, not sure about their son though. I'm not sure if he's originally a human or not.
I wish I could get Solis to see things that way too.
But you can't, because he's a bird.
I'll admit that he disappointed me. I suppose I expected something different.
The man's all about status. That's the core why we argued. Because he has an idea that just because I don't act for myself like the lots of you, I lost my right to be at your party.
In spite of his bluster, his eyes looked torn. I don't know the full circumstances of his fall as a star celestial, but I understand as best as I can that it was very painful. Solis' worldview already hurts me as a fellow celestial, so I can only imagine how hurtful it is to Val, who has deliberately chosen a life outside of ruling a galaxy. We're friends, Val. You always have the right to be my friend.
Thanks. It means a lot coming from you.
Of course. I have said nothing but the truth. Val smiles at me warmly, but I return the smile belatedly. My thoughts already turned into the St. Laurent, his pleasantly uncomfortable perspective. Val picks up on the fact that we're not finished with the subject of Solis. He sounds in exasperation.
What is it?
I was just thinking, next time I see Solis, I should talk to him.
Val raised his eyebrows. Why? He gets bumpers, full of himself, and has a stick right up his...
Val!
You get my point. Why would you want to talk to him again? Especially when you could spend the next 8 days with me instead.
That's a good question. Why do I want to talk to him again?
Because I choose so. Also, where are Solis around here? I'm sorry, Val. Maybe next time. Now there's a question whether I should do his route last.
Maybe I'm just curious to see if he really understood what I meant when I told him his point of view was wrong. That flabbergasted expression. It's almost as if no one has ever confronted him in his life. Either way, I don't know the exact reason, so I tell Val exactly that. I don't know.
Seriously?
Val shoots me a disbelieving look. I shrug and smile at him, almost automatically. Valandester smiles back, and that's how I know he's willing to try and understand. If only I could get Solis to be as amenable as Val is. But then, I suppose he wouldn't be Solis. Something about the way he carries himself, the self-assured personality and absolute pride in which he does his work as a celestial, is admirable. I wish I could be tempered just a bit, but... In any case, I do have to get going, but I'll eat with you again tomorrow.
To see Solis.
Now it's my turn to give him a disbelieving look. Absolutely not. I have other things to do.
Well, let me know if I have to show Solis what's what. Though I almost feel sorry for the guy, knowing you.
Thank you for the vote of confidence.
Anytime. I'll see you around, Ilona.
See you. As I return to the castle, the stars are bright as they guide me as easily as if I were in the sky again. In my bones, I can feel the tug of the ocean as the water lapping against the edges of the moon break for me. If I wished, I could bend the skies with my power. I can't perform my timekeeper duties while in this human form. But as I feel the tug of the lapping water like a steady heartbeat, it suits me. Satisfied, I find myself staring down at the water over the edge of the bridge. I don't know how long I am outside, but I am certain that if my planet and moon circled a star, it would have already been morning. Solis finds me still standing at the bridge, and this time, I do not move away.
Lady Iruna,
Lord Solis,
are you cold?
I am actually, but I don't answer as he approaches, wrapping a blanket around my shoulders. I don't reject it. His gestures are warm, but I still can't forget the cool way he laughed when I call him out for only referring to me as my title. Solis looks contemplative for a moment as he moves into my line of sight. The light of the sun's eyes reflects in mine, and there is a pool of light that surrounds us. It's rather beautiful, if I'm being honest.
It occurred to me that your quick departure the other night might have been my fault. I want to apologize for offending you.
It is an apology, but the way he speaks is so uncertain that I'm unsure if I understand the source of my frustration with him. Still, he's looking at me so earnestly that I can't help but try to hear him out. Go on.
That's all I have to say.
He looks hesitant, which is strange, to say the least. I haven't known Lord Solis for long, but he has always been the very picture of confidence. I sigh aloud. Do you truly not understand why your words angered me so? Lord Solis shakes his head slowly from side to side.
I apologize, but no, I do not.
I was upset because I believe personality should be the first thing you judge a person by. I was upset because you treat humans as though they are only meant to serve us. I was upset because during our entire first conversation, you only referred to me as timekeeper and not by my given name. The only thing I can recall are my humanity. Solis looks shocked. Perhaps it is because I'm speaking candidly, or perhaps it is because no one has said these words to him before. He is warm, true, but his limits are clearly linked to his lack of true connections. Throughout the short time I've known him, no one has called him by name. It's unfair to focus on surface-level things like humans versus celestials, or status when you should be focused on who someone is at their core.
But how could I value such things so little? Even you must admit that we are different from humans.
Are we? Weren't we once just like them? Solis looks torn for a moment.
You aren't wrong. No.
I look at him earnestly. At the end of the day, status is just decoration for the inner person underneath it all. The inner person is whose galaxy you'll be stuck with for an eon of time. That is why you should worry about it.
I see.
He knows the blanket sliding up my shoulders with all of my gesturing, and without a second thought, pulls it securely back over my shoulders.
Your human form can catch cold, so be careful.
His hands are warm, but I shake the sensation off. I want to be interested in Lord Solis' true self too, but I refuse to be pulled in with warm touches and affection alone.
I will try to understand.
Huh?
I respect you, Your Grace. And even I know in order to ensure that respect is both full and mutual, I need to make an attempt to understand your point of view. And I assure you, I am a celestial on my word.
I hope that is true, for both of our sakes. I cannot believe that someone so warm could be so cold to the very beings I have spent a century yearning to be like. I stand up.
Do you need an escort?
I shake my head. You have much to consider, don't you? I will return on my own and keep your words in mind. And that should be a good point to end in this playthrough. Yes, that is the end of this playthrough. I deliberately gives you a cliffhanger of the choice we should make. This playthrough was interesting. I had the first impression that I had of Lord Solis was that he's warm, like the sun. He is indeed warm, but it's like selectively. He is warm to the celestial that are important and someone who he knows and something like that. But he is very cold to the people he's serving. Well, kind of. Like to the humans in a sense. Warm to celestial and cold to the human. So it's an interesting characteristics, like being warm but also cold at the same time. So I like it. Anyway, thank you for watching and I'll see you on the next playthrough of Celestia. Bye bye!